beautiful women, prostitutes or escorts, whatever you want to call them, that he goes and sees, you know. Now, he's a married guy. Doesn't bother me, bro. What you choose to do with your marriage and your life is not my problem. I'm not going to stand there and say, hey, you got to do this, hey, you're cheating on your missus. Nothing to do with me. So he was saying to me, in Indonesia, there's beautiful women, and he goes and roots prostitutes and stuff. And when he walks into the rooms, he takes pictures of up their skirts while they're walking up the stairs. So he had pictures like that, and I thought to myself, but that's just strange, man. Why would you bother doing that if you're going to go and fuck her and get to see her pussy and everything anyway? So why would you bother taking upskirt shots? People would let you do that. They pay for sex. You know, you get paid for sex. They let you do a lot of things. So I thought it was a little bit strange. Anyway. Yeah. Okay, now, in July 2014, Royden sent me some pictures. Me and Royden got to chatting on Facebook. Me and Royden haven't chatted since about 2009 when Rudy was down. Because them two were bras. They used to hang out all the time. Royden was a lucky bra of mine. He started talking to me about my cousin, Bronwyn Myles. He's tuning me, hey, I know the sticky, but she's bat crazy, you know. She's a little fucked in the head because she hasn't taken her medication and this and that, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I didn't tell him that Bronwyn's actually my cousin because I wanted to see what he's got to say about her. Not for any deviant notion or whatever, I just wanted to see what he thought about my cousin. So anyway, he's tuning out, she's crazy, you know. She's on it again, you know. I'm not sure what he was talking about. He must have been talking about drugs or something. Because he's going, she's on it again and she hasn't taken her medication now, she's depressed and this and that. But he was talking a lot of shit about her. I said to him, look, don't worry, she's a good girl. You know, she'll stand up for you, she'll represent you as a boyfriend or whatever. You just got to look after her, basically, this, that, blah, blah, blah. And then he sent me these pictures of her, you know. He sent me pictures of her pussy. Cream pie pictures. It's pictures of him and his sperm coming out of her pussy. You know what I'm saying? He sent me pictures like that. And he sent me video of that. One where she's standing in a doorway and all that kind of stuff. One of him that he had ejaculated into a vagina. And they're in the bed and it's on the video it's like he's been sneaky about it, you know, and I thought, wow, man. I haven't seen you for that long. We don't even communicate on Facebook at all. All of a sudden, he's sending me fucking material, explicit material like this about fucking a girl that I could know because she's South African. But he doesn't even know that I know. Well, I thought he didn't know. But anyway, my point is, we don't communicate at all. And all of a sudden, you're sending me explicit footage of cream pie and some chick that is my cousin. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even if we were friends, I wouldn't expect you to send me that kind of explicit material. And I was quite flabbergasted, exactly. Flabbergasted. Absolutely X-rated fucking shit, you know what I'm saying? It's my cousin too, Bronwyn Myles. Okay. More about that story later. Now, Rob was asking me for scales. I had a set of scales at my house, not for any particular reason. Rob was dealing drugs, so I figured he wanted scales, so I said, you can have them. So one time when I had picked up from his house, he said to me, call me up and then tell me like a code word like 26 or 27, because he gave me a piece of rock, but he didn't have scales, so he wanted to know how much it weighed. So he said when I get home, to put it on the scale, see how much it weighs, and then tell him in code, like if it weighs 2.6 grams, I must say, yeah, Jordan's playing at number 26 today. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. And I ended up giving him the scales, since I didn't have no use for them. Now his mate John, he had introduced me to his mate John, a white guy. He had introduced me to him the year before. Now this guy, yeah, he's got like a big ass mansion, a fucking huge house in South Perth, yeah. I thought this guy must be someone important, or he's got shitload of money, mate. A massive mansion in South Perth. Nice guy. I used to talk to him. Friendly guy. So I thought, wow, he was actually also selling drugs. He sold to me one time. Rob connected me with him to get some gear off him. So his name was John. White guy. And we ended up at his house washing his car one time. He was selling a car, so me and Robin over to John's house and we were washing his car. And I had a strange feeling there. I felt like people were watching us through the window, you know. Feeling not paranoid, but just the sense that I'm being watched by somebody. Now in August 2014, Julie Dunn, my cousin, she contacted me. I think she was saying to catch up and all that kind of stuff, whatever. But anyway. So where to now? Okay, now Nick, the guy from FMG, he started making me wait when I was going to pick up from him. I used to wait there by a car wash next to Red Rooster. I think it's Brown Ave or whatever up in Morley, next to the bottle shop. He used to make me wait for ages now, man. He never used to make me wait. Yeah. He used to come with his kids sometimes, you know, in the car. He used to say, hey, hello, how you going, man? He used to wear a Spider-Man outfit sometimes. This is Nick's son. He used to get on well with kids, I always do. So he'd be driving around with his son and this, blah, blah, blah. He'd come to meet me at the car wash. And him too, he'd just give me the gear at the car wash. There's cameras everywhere. So these guys that I'm dealing with, they're not worried about cameras or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's getting done. Nobody's paranoid about dealing it. So everything's all good as far as I'm concerned. I'm just getting a bit off you and that's it. No one's too worried about it. But he used to make me wait for ages now. He never used to make me wait. I used to go to his house sometimes. I met his wife. And he had just had a baby that time. Nice house with a pool and all that. We used to ride his bike. He had a little RC car as well. Cool guy. Now one time I went to his house. Another time I went to Nick's house. There was two guys there. They're very strange guys. We went to his house. He asked me if I wanted to play some darts. So I said, yeah, cool, no worries. Then he started shooting darts, but he was doing everything so quick, you know. This and that. And the two guys were sitting at the bar there. Tall guys. They were very out of character. They didn't say much to me. They didn't communicate with me. So anyway, me and Nick went to the garage. That's where he kept the gear. These two guys came outside and they sat on some chairs over there. So now I had a smoke in Nick's garage. Those guys were sitting there just drinking beers. They weren't having a smoke. I think Nick had a smoke. I got some gear off him. Now these guys were just sitting there quiet. They were kind of, they weren't even really communicating with themselves. But you know what I'm saying? They didn't even try and make an effort to communicate with me or say, hey, how you going, mate? How are you, man? How's things? This, that, blah, blah, blah. Nothing like that. They weren't friendly at all. They were just ignorant. You know what I'm saying? They were very suspicious. They reminded me of cops. You know what I'm saying? They just reminded me of cops. They never said a word to me the whole time. They were just there, watching. Watching without looking. And I thought to myself, that was pretty strange. Anyway. Yeah, so that's what happened. Now Nick, he hooked me up with two other guys. They used to stay there next to Crimea Street, Banara Road, Crimea Street, somewhere. He used to stay next to a park. He hooked me up with these guys because he wasn't home one time. So I went there with Biden first one time. Yeah, so I used to get off those guys. One time I went to see those guys. I just want to see if I got the stories right, in the right order. Anyway, one time I went to see these guys that Nick hooked me up with, and they made me wait about 3 hours. I went to the shops there, I think Nolamar or something, and I saw Nassim Mackolisky or whatever. I was waiting for him to pick up, and I saw Nassim there. I had a chat with him. Hey, how you going, mate? How's things? I think he was doing security and that sort of stuff. So I checked Nassim, it was all good, whatever. Now I've waited for about 3 hours by the shopping centre, and there's a big oval and park. Now all these young kids are playing basketball and netball, young girls and young boys. So I took a walk around there, had a look, this, that, blah, blah, blah. Hey, you're waiting for these owls forever. Except finally, after about 3 hours came, the shops are getting empty. I'm still waiting for these owls. They rock up this way, that way. Yeah, I got the gear off them and I left. I was quite pissed off. But anyway, not much you can do about it. Now, oh yeah, Korgi, back to Korgi. I went to Korgi's house one time. Some girl that pulled a neck like this. And I was, everybody was pissing me off. My mum was pissing me off. Everybody was annoying me, man. So I went to Korgi's house. It's like everybody was acting strange towards me. You know what I'm saying? They were annoying me for some reason. But I wasn't sure what it was. And I got to Korgi's house and she also done this thing. She looked away like this and she said, "Oh, you sexy cunt." You know what I'm saying? And I heard what she said, but she was looking away and her lips didn't really move. She's like, "Oh, you sexy cunt." You know what I mean? I call that cookie book. Yeah. And I heard what she said. I wasn't sure what to do. I didn't know if I'm supposed to go, "Did you just call me sexy cunt?" Anyway. One night too, I was walking. I was a little, not upset, I was a little mystified why people are treating me in a certain way or making me feel a certain way. So I went for a walk and she called up and said to me, "Do I want to come over? Do I want to taste?" And I said, nah, this and that. So anyway. Who else we got here? Renee Cooper. We went to the Boheim one time. It's a pub in town to have drinks. Actually, this I think was the beginning of 2015, so I'll leave that out for now. Hold on. I think this was around the beginning of 2015. Anyway, we're carrying with the story. Now I had looked for Mervy's address, my ex-wife, to do mediation, and that the year before. I had found her address, but while I was looking for her address on the GPS, the words came up, "pin drop." I thought, that was strange. It's like the pin dropped, like something clicked in. But that's what was written when I found her address. Where her address was, it had little writing saying pin drop. And when I looked up Hailey's address in Southern River Road, there was a little bobcat and a little writing next to the bobcat that said Allans Butts, or Allans Butts Services or something like that. I remember this specifically because it was like, is that for real? Because they relate to me in my life, you know what I'm saying? With the pin drop at Mervy, it was like someone was trying to tell me that that's what the problem is or whatever. That's what we're here for. And with Hailey's Allans Butts, I figured it had something to do with me and her getting pregnant and stuff. Anyway. I also had a pen camera. I've had it for about 7 years. I used it once at Brownie Towers because I was paranoid that when I was leaving the house, someone was entering the house. I just had a strange feeling because of whatever was going on. I can hear people talking and this at night time when I'm in my room, this, that, blah, blah, blah. So I figured I'll put this pen camera up on the doorway there. We had a shelf there in the house to see if someone's coming in while I'm gone. So I left it up there recording for a couple of hours or whatever. I came back, I had a look, there was nothing on it, so that was it. Mum and Noel were gone over East, I think. I also had my NG8010 tablet. It had like a camera on it. It's just a pad, a notepad or notebook. They all got cameras on it. So I used to leave, it had a motion sensor one, so I'd leave it in my room to see if anyone came into my room. You know what I'm saying? Because I had a feeling someone was coming into my room. I had all my my electronic SIM cards, my USB drives and all that there. So I thought that someone new was coming into my room and looking at all of these things. Now I wasn't uncomfortable with that. If someone was coming into my room, it was okay, because I don't have anything to hide. So, and up there on my wardrobe, in one of the drawers, I had the DNA paternity test from Silly Base that proved I'm the father of Lorenzo. So people I think were coming into my room. I don't know if it was my mother or Noel or someone or whatever, but taking my information, I was pretty sure of it. So I was comfortable with that. So they've got the proof of paternity for Lorenzo. They've got all my electronic gear there. I had no problem if people were looking at it. I was just suspicious about who was looking at it and why. Because I was convinced someone was coming into my room and looking at my stuff. So, okay, let's go to, now Byron's brother-in-law, not brother-in-law, Byron's wife's sister's husband, Adrian. Byron had given my RC car to him. That car cost me $500. So I said to Byron one time, hey, I'm going to tune Adrian about my RC car. I asked Byron first because I wanted to have a word with Adrian. Because now Adrian owed my brother like $10,000, right? And Adrian had, they borrowed money of my brother, about $10,000. And Adrian had also borrowed his car. And when Adrian borrowed his car, he messed up the bonnet with all these dents and stuff in the bonnet. So he gave the car back to my brother damaged. Now my brother told me that and I saw the car. Now Adrian had also borrowed money, $10,000 or so, I'm not exactly sure. But he hadn't given the money back to my brother. My brother was telling me about this, he was complaining about this to me. And he was taking long to pay money back and he wouldn't give him this and that, blah, 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 you know what I'm saying? And my brother had given Adrian my RC car, which was $500. It cost me $500. It was $800 normally, but it was on special. Anyway, so I'm thinking, so I said to my brother, you know what? I'm thinking to myself, you know, fuck this. I'm going to go have a chat with Adrian. I'm going to have a chat with Adrian about giving my brother his money. And I'm doing something about his car and giving me back my RC car because I want my RC car. Because I'm sitting at home and I'm unemployed or whatever, waiting for another shutdown. I want something to do with myself. So my RC car is perfect. It's a little boy's toy, remote control car. So I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to go have a chat with Adrian. I'm going to tension him up. I'm going to tell him about the money he owes my brother, about how he damaged my brother's car, and I want my RC car back. Now I asked my brother if I can do this first, just out of respect. I didn't want to go to my brother's other side of the family and just start causing a commotion. I asked my brother first, because it was pissing me off, because my brother's telling me about this. So I wanted to stand up for him. So one day we came back to the towers and I said to Byron, yeah, well, I'm going to go see Adrian, or I'm going to call him up on Facebook, this, that, there, whatever, and sort something out. And then my brother argued with me and he went off at me. Fucking, just leave it alone. We had a good day, we went out, and this is how the day ended. Fuck, it said, why you want to fucking just that? It said, why fucking, just leave it. It said, fucking, fucking just leave it, don't worry about it, man. Fucking, what do you want to do that for? What do you want to do it for? Fucking, dude. This is what he said to me, and I'm like, I'm flabbergasted because I had already asked him if I can have a chat with Adrian about all this nonsense. And he was okay with it. Now he's going off at me after we've had a good day out and spent quality time together, you know. So the day's ended crap now. He's argued with me. Now I left feeling shit. I left feeling shit about that. Me wanting to stand up for my brother. And now he's fighting with me. You know what I'm saying? So I felt crap about that. Anyway, I got over it. Carried on with my life. So now I went to do inductions for work with Morgan Fuller. 2014. They were doing ship loaders up in Port Hedland on the wharf. Been looking for a graph for a while now. A bit sucked. So I went to do these inductions for Morgan Fuller. I went to the airport one time and now the plane had left at a different time. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So now I'm a bit stressed out, you know, hey, the graph, this and that, whatever. The plane had left earlier, or the plane was leaving from Terminal 2. The airport's changed. It's Terminal 1, Terminal 2, Terminal 3 and Terminal 4. Now, the domestic terminals are now at the international terminals. You know what I'm saying? So it's changed. So I didn't get it confused. I went for the right time. But I didn't know that this terminal's over that side now. You know what I'm saying? So now I missed that flight. Hey, I got on a one taxi bus with another guy and he paid for it, you know. Hey, hustle. Hey, missed the flight. I rang Morgan Fuller up and she's telling me, oh, okay, yes, but you haven't got your working at Heights anyway. You need to renew that, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And she was all cool with it, you know, this and that. I was like, ooh, thank goodness. So now I've got to go do a working at Heights course there in Welshpool Road. Now I've got about half an hour to get there. Hey, so I go there, I get there. I'm just on 15 minutes late now because I had to catch a bus.